a lot of people have asked me about how do I plan my solo? How did you plan your solo? So I have my drum kit set up downstairs, and I will just take you down there and run you through the solo and what I was thinking as I put it together. Because I basically think of it as like a structure, and then within that structure there's sections, and within the sections there's a theme, and then there's room to improvise. So let's go.
Okay, so like I said, I thought of the solo in sections. And I thought of it like a musical piece, like a song, an introduction, and then however many things I can fit in that are reasonably lengthed, that's definitely not a word, that are reasonably long. And yeah, it was a mixture of things I wanted to play, this is what I've been working on, this is who I am, things that I felt the people watching would want to see, like kind of the showmanship stuff and like groovy stuff, and then things that I know the judges want to see, because they do have a score sheet and you will know what's on it. It's like there's a few categories: technique, showmanship, overall effectiveness of the performance, I think, creativity, stuff like that. But so you kind of have to think through what you're doing and try to appease each of the categories. So like I said, I thought of it like a song, and I had basically a bunch of ideas. I was like, it would be cool to play 7/8 Clave. It'd be cool to do this idea. It'd be cool to do this idea. It'd be cool to do this idea. And as it went on, I started to weed out ones that weren't as effective as I thought, and keep the ones that I thought worked well or were really cool. So I started it with this just free, no time kind of thing. Hit some chords on the Octapad to just set the mood. And it's minor. It's a synth and a really reverby piano, and it's just like, ooh. It's like it grabs people's attention. It's super, nothing hard about going bam and hitting that, but that's not what it's about. Again, it's not about showing off my chops at that point. It's just about the music and evoking something. So the theme basically was this. And then do something, and then do the same thing, and then do something a little bigger, and then do the same thing, and then go to the next section. There you go. The mood is set. It goes into the first section. The theme is 5/16, which is this groove that I worked on with my teacher over at Berkeley for a while. It's just an idea he had. He was like, hey, check it out. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. So I wanted to start with it at its bare bones, this 5/16 idea. So I just put the time in because it's kind of weird. I wanted people to get settled in before we start doing anything crazy. So the first thing was just builds, it goes through 4 chords, blah, 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 blah. I play more, I show off more. There's a little break, give it some sort of placement, give it some movement. And then that's the whole section. Just develop that very simple idea, 5/16 beat. And then the next section is the section that took me so long to try to get down, and I was still working on it. It was the newest idea. All of a sudden, before the regionals, I was like, man, that's a cool idea. I don't know how I thought of it, but it was like, oh. I was like, I gotta do that, because I have never seen anyone do that. And that immediately was like, oh, I should do it. But it was just a roll between my right hand and my left foot, and then a beat over top. So it was just, etc. And then I did the same thing with doubles, and I wanted to do the same thing with paradiddles, like, but I didn't get it fast enough in time for the competition because I wanted it to be pretty fast. So every single day, I was talking about putting time in, like practicing every day, like every single day, I sat there for so long with a metronome in my ear, just like, it was awful at first. Awful. Awful for a long time, actually. But eventually I was just, and I started to get faster and try different combinations and just push it, and I got pretty good at it. I'm still working on it, honestly, but it was a work in progress. But I thought it was cool enough to put in. as a section. The theme was just this. You know? Way faster, so it was like. So then again, I wanted to include the Octapad in this part. So I just put all the coolest sounds I could find on one kit, because you can rearrange, take different pieces of kits, put them together, and played a little something like this.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
That's pretty much it. And that I developed, that went somewhere else, that went somewhere else, and then to the next section. But the theme again was the next section's theme was 7/8 Clave, which I'd been working on for a while, just assigning it to my left foot, automatic pilot, play anything with the other 3 limbs. And I really wanted to showcase that, because it's another thing that I'd been working on that was sort of a culmination of Latin and fusion and weird stuff that I'd been studying. So I decided that needed to be in there. And I started it with just the clave to get people acclimated to the new section. Think, oh, it's kind of weird. I was expecting 4, but it's just a son clave or a rumba clave minus the last beat, because it would land on what would be the new 1 in 7/8. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know what I mean? And I started out just playing that, and then went into this little lithophone solo. It's another thing on here, and I tuned them. You can tune them to different pitches on the Octapad. So I tuned them. This is a chord on the bottom 4, and a chord on the top 4, and this went back and forth, because that's all it takes. Again, it's just sort of like, it puts you in the mood, it starts you feeling something. It sounds like this. And then after that, it was just free solo over that clave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. And from there, I wanted to get into this groovy section. I was just like 4/4 to the end, just groove and rock out a little, and then do stick tricks and finish. So that was the last section. I don't really need to explain that. But the stick tricks I did, I've been doing the same stick tricks since I was like 8th grade, and they never fail me. So it's just something I got from John Blackwell. You just do this one, whoosh, you just flick it back, flip your hand over, you don't actually let go of the stick. Everyone's always like, throwing sticks around. So you're not really even, it's super easy once you get it. So just doing that, and then cross my hands over. And then double bass on max speed, and it looks like this. And it looks way harder than it is. And then I did this juggling thing, doing this same thing. And thank God I caught them all, because 1 out of 3 times I drop a stick. So I was like, please, let me catch all of them. And that's kind of funny. The GoPro is attached to the fan, but it actually swung around at some point while I've been doing this, and it's now on the other side of the room. But yeah, so then you have the pieces. Introduction, 5/16 thing, the diddle thing, the clave thing, the groove showmanship thing. Then all you have left, like a real song, is how do you get from one to the other? Transitions. The first one I decided to do, include the audience a little. I think it's kind of cheesy to make people clap, but I decided to do it anyways because I didn't really know what else to do. So I just started this thing really slow, had people clap, faster, faster. Yay, that was fun. And then from that section to the 7/8 section, it was just a bam, stop, and then start the clave. That was pretty abrupt. That pretty much wraps up how I did my solo and the thought that was put into it. And within each section, there's room for improvisation. There's room for expansion. Some sections were more planned. The section was pretty planned out. Like, it would be pretty similar if I played it 10 times in a row. Whereas the 7/8 open solo section was totally different every time. I had some ideas I wanted to hit. I said I want to do this one and maybe do something like this. And that's all. So again, I don't have the answers. I don't know how you can win, but have a good time doing it because that's really all it's about. Like, don't forget why you play drums, why you play music, and have fun. Don't forget that you can always reach out to me, to anyone, ask for help, because I guarantee you people are nicer than you might think. You know, I've reached out to some people that gave me a hand, gave me some lessons, whatever it is. If you write me, I'm gonna write you back. And if I don't, write me again because I just didn't see it. But all the best. Thank you for checking my channel out. Thanks for watching the videos. Thanks to Guitar Center for giving me this amazing opportunity. I always have to take a chance to thank them as I'm going through my life because things are very different now. And it's so much thanks to them and this wonderful opportunity that they provide for people. And even if you don't win, I encourage people to do the competition. You learn a lot about yourself as a person and as a player. You meet a lot of amazing people. You might see some really inspirational people. Along the way, I met Aaron Spears, Dennis Chambers, Thomas Lang, like really cool people. I've met some great friends and great drummers. The other guys in the competition were totally rad. We hung out. From the day we got there, we were buddies, even though we were competing against each other. So, I mean, it's a really awesome thing, this competition that's been put on. And try to think of it as competition. It's show and tell. That's what it is. So go show and tell your stuff to the rest of the world and have fun. And keep on rocking in the free world. And I'm going to go eat dinner. Peace out. What?